Have you ever seen this clip?
I worked at Xinhua for 3 years. The reason I left Xinhua because it was a joyless place. Joyless. I walk in there, hi. Usually not one student would say hi back. It was like walking into a funeral every day.
Chinese students never ask questions. At first glance, that sounds true. Walk into a typical Chinese university classroom, and you will often see thousands of students sitting quietly while a professor lectures. No hands raised, no interruptions, no debates. To many foreigners, that can seem strange. Do Chinese students simply not have questions? Do they not care? Not exactly. Because the truth is much more complicated. I'm Edward. I think deeply. I speak honestly. Let's get into it. Today, I want to talk about something that confuses many people outside China. Why are Chinese students so quiet? Because if you only look at what happens inside Chinese classrooms, you might completely misunderstand what's exactly happening. To understand this, we need to start long before university. Most Chinese students grow up hearing similar messages: stay humble, respect your teachers, don't show off. There is even an old saying in China: the nail that sticks out gets hammered down. Now, these values aren't necessarily bad. They help create discipline, they encourage respect, they help maintain harmony. But every value comes with a trade-off. When you are told from a young age not to stand out too much, speaking up in front of 100 classmates suddenly becomes much harder. What if the question sounds stupid? What if everyone is looking at you? What if the teacher disagrees? For many students, staying silent seems safer. But culture is only a part of the story. The education systems also play a very major role. For years, Chinese students have grown up in an environment dominated by exams. Success is often measured by one thing: getting the answer right. Students spend years memorizing information, solving problems, and preparing for tests. As a result, many students become extremely good at finding answers. But asking questions is a completely different scale. Questioning means admitting you don't know something. Questioning means risking being wrong in public. And traditional exams really reward that behavior. So over time, many students learn how to answer, but fewer learn how to question. But here's the interesting part. The silence doesn't mean students aren't thinking. In fact, many questions simply happen somewhere else. After class, inside group chats, in dorm rooms, or during private conversations with professors. Many students are very curious. They are just more comfortable asking questions in smaller and safer environments. So the questions don't disappear, they simply move. And this brings us to another important factor: confidence. Whether you are in China, America, or anywhere else in the world, the students who ask questions usually share one thing in common: they feel secure enough to speak. Some gain their confidence from their own abilities, others gain it from supportive families. Some simply grow up knowing it's okay to make mistakes. Without confidence, every question feels risky. With confidence, asking questions becomes much safer. Many children are taught, don't cause trouble, avoid conflicts, stay safe. But questioning has always required risk, and that's true in every society. But today, something is changing. For most of human history, education rewarded people who could provide answers. But now we are entering the age of AI. Anyone can open ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini. Anyone can search the internet. Anyone can get information within seconds. Answers have become incredibly cheap. The challenge is no longer finding answers. The challenge is knowing what questions to ask. Because AI can answer many questions, but it still can't decide which questions are worth asking. And maybe that's why questioning has become more valuable than ever before. Human progress has always started the same way, Someone look at that accepted idea and ask, what if that's wrong? Every major breakthrough began with a question, not an answer. So maybe the most important students in the future won't be the ones who always have the answers. Maybe they'll be the ones brave enough to ask better questions. In your country, are students encouraged to challenge ideas in class, or are they taught to stay quiet? Let me know in the comments. Stay curious, keep observing. I'll see you in the next one.